Hello and welcome to Let's Make Treks. In this video I will be demonstrating the construction of my branch line station kit. I recommend you watch the video through at least once before attempting the build. For this build I have super glue, fine tip applicators, a straight edge, a craft knife, set square provided, and some toothpicks for the glue and glaze that I forgot to put on the table. All the parts are labelled with letters on the content sheet for easy identification. It may be preferable to paint the parts before assembly to make life easier for yourself, but this is entirely up to you. So let's start with the chimneys. For a single chimney section, take pieces A, left or right, 2 Bs and a C. Assemble all 4 pieces to make a square column, ensuring the brick detail is visible on all sides once in place. Glue is applied to the inside of the corners to minimise visibility. Repeat for the second chimney. You should now have 2 chimney sections with protrusions in opposite directions. Insert both chimney pieces into the slots on piece D. Press model against a slightly raised flat surface to ensure flush fit, whilst taking care not to damage the triangular roof supports with the protruding chimneys both facing away from the centre. Do not glue yet. Piece E is inserted between the 2 chimneys into the top slot on both chimneys. This will form a joist. The chimneys may need to flex slightly to allow the clearance for piece E to slot in properly. Place the centre support, piece F, at a 45-degree angle under the joist and slot into place, returning it to a 90-degree angle. Align with the engraved line on piece D. Use the straight edge to ensure permanent 90-degree angle, and then once you're happy with all the alignments, glue in place. Chimney sections, centre support and joist can now all be glued in place by running a bead of glue along the inside of the joining edges. Don't glue the supports on the underside of the model just yet. These will need to flex later. Take the back wall, piece G, and dry fit into the rear of the main model, lining up the cutout sections with the 3 points of the support sections. At this point I am going to add a drop of glue into the corners just to hold the back wall in place. Now piece H will dry fit around the corner, engaging all the teeth, and I'm going to use this just to make sure that the platform section goes in square. So I'll just move that aside for a moment and make sure that this back wall and the platform are firmly attached. So back to the instructions. Take piece H, left or right, and dry fit around the relevant corner, engaging all the teeth just like a zip. Once you are happy with the alignment of the corner, holding firmly in place, glue the inside of the corner seam. Then move on to all contact points inside the structure. Repeat for opposite side H. Do not glue supports or the legs underneath the platform just yet, as these will all need to flex later. Take piece I and press into the non-detailed side of piece J. Glue along the top of piece I, along the inside of the building, along the join. I do recommend painting both pieces prior to this step, as it is a lot easier than doing it when both pieces are connected, especially piece I. The burnt laser cut line is notoriously difficult, at least for me, to paint. So I found it a lot easier to paint this section first before putting it into piece J. But again, this is entirely up to you. Remove the paper backing from the signboards S1, 2 and 3 and place in blank squares on the detailed side of piece J from left to right. The easiest way to remember is just put the white one in the middle and the two greens either side. Pre-assembled window pieces are positioned from left to right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Glue the windows in place with the fully plastic side against the main model. I recommend glue and glaze for this, as it dries clear in any overspill areas and you won't see it at all. So just make sure the paper side with the curtains stays clean and shouldn't have any problems. At this stage, I will say ensure all the window glue is fully cured before moving on. This will prevent any windows coming out of place once we put the entire front onto the station. So this would be a good time to take a break. Nope. Place the fully assembled front wall J into place on the front of the model. Align the cutouts along the top edge the same as the rear wall. Engage teeth joints in the corners at both ends. A straight edge will be useful at this stage to ensure front wall remains aligned along the platform seam. Once everything is engaged, run a bead of glue along the inside of the teeth joins in both corners. Let first corner dry or bond before the second. This will make life a lot easier. Ensure front wall is straight along the platform and then glue in place from inside the model. This will minimize any glue marks. Take both pieces marked K and lay on a flat surface and press one on top of the other, engaging the hook joint. Place a piece of tape, or in my case I'm using a postage label, over the join on only one side. This will now be the rear. Flip the two joined K pieces over and add a bead of glue to the front of the hook join, allowing the glue to run through the join towards the tape at the rear. And do exactly the same on the opposite side. So I'm going to take the label off, which, yes, it still comes off. So I'm going to reapply the label on the now glued side and apply more glue to this side of the joint just to make sure it's 100% solid. And just for the sake of being extra, I'm actually going to wrap the entire join in this label and then trim off the excess just to be a little bit extra here, and I don't want to get super glue everywhere while I'm faffing around filming this. You can do the same if you want to, but again, it's entirely up to you. Gently align and engage the holes on your now single K piece onto the support legs from all 4 A and H pieces, the ones we didn't glue earlier. After all the legs and notches are engaged, we can now freely glue all the legs and supports from the underside, securing all the pieces firmly in place. Take one of the L pieces with the slot furthest to the flat end, engage the slot in piece H left or right, ensure sloped ends match piece K. Take 3 M pieces and place in the lined up slots from pieces K and L, 2 top and 1 flat underside. Align end platform piece N, left or right, against the large teeth join of piece D using a straight edge, making sure the 2 holes for the signs are at the rear of the platform and all the tiles match up as best as possible. Add dots of glue strategically between the foundation and the platform surface just to hold piece N in place. At this point, it's a good opportunity to check to make sure your tiles are actually sitting flat against each other. So just quickly check this and adjust if necessary. I use the straight edge just to press it flat after I've just applied a little drop of glue in the relevant join. Once bonded, turn model upside down and glue underside contact edges to ensure a secure bond. Take one of the O pieces, left or right, and place on the slope, lining up the tiles as best as possible. Like the previous platform section, glue at strategic points to hold O in place so you can secure from the underside. Just make sure you have the correct piece, as both ends may have different tile patterns. Repeat for the opposite end. Take one P and slot into Q. Press against a flat surface for a flush fit and glue along the seams. Repeat the process so you now have two crossed QP pieces. Insert one QP into the center slot in the chimney, left or right. Engage the cross into the cutout points on the wall sections. Check top edge is level with the joist, piece E, and glue in place, ensuring glue avoids exterior of the model where possible. You want to try and avoid getting glue into the brick details, as this will make detailing and painting harder later. Repeat for the opposite QP piece. Piece T engages on top of the OP, matching roof angles. Drop a bead of glue to engage notches. Repeat for the opposite end and ensure both ends are firmly secure before moving on. Slot one of the roof pieces R into the notches from the chimney supports. Glue in place by dropping a bead of glue on the visible points of contact, and again avoiding the brickwork if possible. Repeat for the opposite end. The U pieces will sit at approximately a 45-degree angle along the teeth join, with the pointed end upwards to align with the rest of the roof. Dry fit the roof tile sheets to assist in positioning the 4 U pieces. Only glue U pieces in place once you are happy with the position and/or angles. Glue one piece at a time and take your time with this step. Repeat for the opposite end of the model. Remove the backing paper from one of the 4 printed roofing sheets and carefully place on the roof, butting up to the center joist, piece E, to cover any gap, and repeat for all the other surfaces on the roof. I recommend using a craft knife to separate from the backing sheet, as the backing paper is quite firmly attached. Dry fit both these sections prior to gluing to check alignment while model is upright on a flat surface. This will help with alignment when gluing in place. Glue the back of piece V, left or right, to the front of the platform edge K, ensuring the angled end is butted up to the ramp flush. This will ensure the second V to fit the opposite end perfectly with little to no visible seam down the centre. Repeat for the opposite V. Fit X, left or right, to the rear of the platforms using the same method as the front. Piece Y is a placeholder for a station sign and can be customized or replaced with a 3D print of your choosing. This would be placed on the square section on the front of your new station. Dimensions for a replacement sign can be found on your content sheet. Holes have also been provided in the platform surface for signs with legs. And we're all done. I hope you enjoyed building your new model and that my instructions were easy to follow and understand. If you have found any issues assembling your kit or are unsure of anything, please feel free to get in touch and I will assist however I possibly can. Thank you for watching and I will see you again next time. Goodbye.